Hello my friends, your favorite terrorist boy Dilly is here.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit.
And today we are talking about the 2v8 game mode in Dead by Daylight. That's right, once again, two killers can smash
a whole chicken
out of little survivors. And I would be lying if I told you that I don't enjoy smashing, especially in this 2v8 game mode. It's awesome. 2v8 is currently my favorite part of Dead by Daylight, besides for the killer queue times. That's right, while waiting for one killer match in Dead by Daylight, I was able to wash the dishes, talk to bitches. Hey bro, you want to see my new girlfriend? Sing a song.
Wasted love, it's a wasted love, it's a wasted love.
But you know, at least after all this, the game finally found me a match. It took only 30 minutes. Yeah, don't even think about queuing up as a killer, because it's just not worth the time, you know. The new iteration of 2v8 has brought us two new killers, the Oni and the Ghostface. And I'm very happy that they are adding new killers to this game mode that I absolutely love. The only problem is that I believe that Ghostface might actually be the worst killer for this game mode. Why the fuck every time when I say game mode, it sounds like I say gay mode? Like literally, I'm not homophobic, don't get me wrong. I mean, I sucked like 3 penises, I had 2 penises inside of my ass. But what the fuck? Anyway, before I dive deep into this topic, just like I dived deep inside of your I will ask you to subscribe to this amazing Dead by Daylight channel. Thank you very much. Alright, so as soon as the 2v8 game mode dropped, I hopped straight into the Ghostface match, and you are watching on your screen right now my first ever Ghostface match of 2v8. And even though I'm a shitty Ghostface player, the fact that this match didn't go so well for me, I blame it all on the map. I would rather get a nipple massage than play on the RPD. I absolutely hate this map. But anyway, it doesn't matter that Ghostface has got some buffs just like other killers in the 2v8 game mode, and it doesn't matter if Ghostface will get some extra buffs in the future, because the power of this killer is actually not really fit for this game mode in my opinion. And the reason why Ghostface isn't really fit for this game mode is that basically this is a stealth killer, right? So you can literally turn off your terror radius and survivors will not be able to hear your heartbeat while you stalk them from far away. In 1v4 it creates very intense situations, very similar to situations with Michael Myers. There are literal girls that scream when they see Michael Myers, like, "Ah, daddy, But unlike Michael Myers, Ghostface can actually be broken out of his power. And when there are 8 people on the map, well, it's very hard to hide from all of them and at the same time stalk some of them, you know what I mean? So people will be exposing you in the most unexpected positions. I believe that as a Ghostface, you are the strongest in the beginning of the match, whenever survivors spawn far away from you and they are very focused on repairing those first generators. But as the match progresses, you will be just secretly walking throughout the map without any heartbeat, and people will be breaking you out of the power. Some people will be behind you, in front of you. It's great to know where the survivors are, because, you know, whenever somebody is about to break you out of your power, you will know where that survivor is exactly. But on the other hand, it literally makes you an M1 killer. which you don't want to be an M1 killer, right? And on certain indoor maps, I'm so glad that we don't really have too many indoor maps for this game mode, but let's say RPD, okay? Even if you played the regular 1v4 match of Dead by Daylight as a Ghostface on this map, well, it's not a great map for you because these stealthy killers that can stalk survivors, they benefit the most when the match is played on an open map where the killer can just chill far away and secretly stalk the survivor. And RPD, for example, has a bunch of walls and obstacles that will prevent the Ghostface from successfully stalking survivors. So the Ghostface will have to actually get closer to those survivors. And keep in mind, in 2v8 there are 8 survivors, not just 4, so there is more risk of survivors possibly breaking you out of your power. And I really appreciate what the developers have done regarding Ghostface's power. I mean, now it takes much longer to break him out of his power, so that's a great first move, but it still doesn't change the fact that this killer is not too ideal if your goal is to win as many killer games as possible in Dead by Daylight, because there are so many try-hard players these days, you know, and why would you not want to win your games, you know? So even though Ghostface is playable, and I'm happy that the Ghostface is playable in the 2v8 game mode, I would rather play as the Oni, let's say, because the Oni in 2v8 is actually a really strong killer. Like, just imagine running as the Oni throughout the map and just one shot hitting everybody, and then your friend who is also playing the killer can just pick those survivors up and send them to cages. By the way, now the 2v8 game mode has new cage sending animations, you know? It's pretty cool. It looks weird at first, but it's pretty cool. My favorite killer in this 2v8 game mode probably has to be the Legion, especially when you're playing with your friend and you get into an agreement with your friend that you will injure as many survivors as possible with the Legion. You know, it's just very fun and satisfying to just run throughout the map, bam, 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 smash every single survivor, bam, 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 injure everybody. And when everybody's injured, you know, that's a one hit down. So your friend, especially if your friend is like the Huntress or the Wraith, it's an easy win. You know, these combinations are very good. You know, the Huntress is incredibly strong in the 2v8 because she can aim from far away, you know, and the Wraith is the only killer that breaks pallets so fucking fast. Like, holy shit, I can't even jerk off that fast, you know what I mean? So these killers are very good. The nurse is great too, but surprisingly in 2v8 there are killers that, in my opinion, outright beat the nurse in terms of strength, you know what I mean? And playing Survivor, I mean, I absolutely hate playing Survivor in the regular 1v4 game mode. Imagine just sitting down and repairing a generator like a little bitch. But the 2v8 game mode makes this entire Survivor experience much more fast-paced, which I understand those people who don't like playing Survivor in 2v8, because hey, it's much harder to loop the killer, especially when there are 2 killers on the map, and when they team up, it's literally impossible to counter those killers some of the time, you know, and there is no skill needed. It's more like a luck-based experience compared to the regular Dead by Daylight, where having some skill is the key, you know what I mean? But I really like the faster-paced Dead by Daylight. I really enjoy it, and I hope it will permanently become the part of Dead by Daylight. It can actually hinder the queue times, as we know, but if Dead by Daylight ever goes free to play, which I believe it will, it could actually bring a bunch of new players, and hopefully this game mode will not be a burden, you know what I mean? Anyway, comment down below what do you think. I'm gonna go and enjoy some more Dead by Daylight. See you later, guys. Don't over masturbate.